Murray is headed to Minnesota to be the quarterback for the Vikings. He signed a 1-year deal. He's still only 28 years old and now has the opportunity to become the latest QB to play his best football under Kevin O'Connell, says Tom Pelissero on Twitter. Then hit free agency again next March, possibly turning his life and career around like a Sam Darnold did. Could he be a Super Bowl champion maybe later on? There was a lot of reaction to this news. Nick Wright ended up putting out a video. I'll let you guys react to what he had to say here, Acho.
People are trying to convince themselves that Kyler on the Vikings would be dangerous. No, it wouldn't. Would it be an upgrade over J.J. McCarthy? Sure. Would they be dangerous? No. Stop me when I say a quarterback Kyler's better than Mahomes, Stafford, Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Darnold, Caleb, May, Trevor, Goff, Love, Dak, Hurts, Baker, Herbert, Jaden. That's 16. C.J. Stroud, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy. He's at best the 20th best quarterback in football.
Pause. One, I would have stopped him about 4 or 5 times. Respectfully.
Oh, wow.
I would have stopped him about 4 or 5 times. Yes. Kyler on the Vikings would be dangerous. Now, we don't know the level of consistency that Kyler Murray is going to provide, but Kyler on the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell would be dangerous. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, Kyler Murray, T.J. Hawkinson. That is dangerous. If Sam Darnold on the Vikings was dangerous, Kyler Murray on the Vikings was dangerous. So everybody relax. Kyler Murray, he has some low lows. He has some high highs. You want to know who else does? Trevor Lawrence. So I for sure would have stopped him there. He got some low lows. He got some high highs. You want to know who else does? C.J. Stroud. I also would have stopped him there. Bo Nix don't even have that high of highs. So I also would have stopped him there. His highs aren't that high. He's a good player, second-year player. I don't even know what we've seen. So, I also would have stopped him there. But Kyler Murray on the Vikings is absolutely dangerous. Because danger to me, T, is at your most lethal, how lethal are you? Danger to me isn't like, how great are you all the time? That's consistency. Danger to me is like, I'm not finna rock with a snake. Because I don't have time trade when I see a snake. If black is touching yellow, you're a dead fellow. But if red's touch, I don't have time for all that. All snakes are dangerous because some have the ability to kill you. Kyler does have the ability to kill you. He just doesn't always execute that ability. He has the ability to kill you. He just doesn't always have the mental maturation and the bandwidth to execute that ability. But dangerous, if the word is dangerous, T, the Vikings with Kyler Murray are beyond the shadow of a doubt dangerous. How consistent, I do not know. What their floor, I do not know. But their ceiling, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Kyler Murray, Aaron Jones, T.J. Hawkinson, they're absolutely dangerous.
They have the ability to be dangerous.
Correct.
I don't know. I'm kind of in between on what Nick Wright said and what you're saying. Because we don't know how Kyler Murray is going to adapt being under center. We don't know that. Kevin O'Connell plays a lot of snaps under center. Kyler Murray has played the majority of his career from the gun.
Correct.
So, and a lot of it too, the play action, you got to throw on time or you're going to be play action and rolling out the pocket. Now, is he the 20th best quarterback? He's better than a couple of the quarterbacks on the list,
Absolutely.
but not 5 or 6 of them. So I would say Kyler Murray may be the 17th best quarterback. But the Kyler Murray from the last couple years, I don't know. The Kyler Murray that played and took him to the playoffs when he got that contract extension.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now he's top 12.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that Kyler Murray. And so you just don't. I'm going to assume we're going to get an extremely motivated Kyler Murray. We're going to get a Kyler Murray that's really going to lock in because he knows if you are a good quarterback and you go play for Kevin O'Connell and you don't play like you're a good quarterback, this may be the beginning of the end.
Check.
And so they have the ability to be dangerous. I just want to see how this looks. Kyler Murray is going to be coached probably harder than he's ever been coached.
Facts.
Kyler Murray is going to be
as motivated as he's ever been.
100%.
Correct.
Just the press conference of him saying, I'm growing up and being a Vikings fan, and I can't believe this. You seen the no tag clause. You don't even need that because Kyler Murray and his people would be out of their damn mind if he has a good season and he's not doing whatever he can to stay there.
Yeah.
And so that's unnecessary. You play well, you should want to stay there.
Yeah.
But they have the potential and the ability to be dangerous. I just need to see how this is going to look. I know we're going to get a motivated Kyler Murray. I got to see how he's going to play under center on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And people act like, oh, he's a quarterback. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, I agree with Nick Wright, but I also disagree with Nick Wright. On his ranking, like you mentioned, Acho, there's quarterbacks that had their high highs and their low lows. None of these dudes had a low as getting benched for Jacoby Brissett.
CJ Stroud in the playoffs.
CJ Stroud, that's a low. That's a low. But also, you had to play decent enough to be able to get to the playoffs, which we have not seen Kyler Murray do in a couple of years. And I know that division's very, very tough. But I will say, I'll disagree with Nick Wright on the fact that what would we have said about Sam Darnold coming into there?
Thank you.
We wouldn't have said he was a top 30 quarterback in the NFL.
Thank you.
You wouldn't have. And then he was able to have a really solid season. Kyler Murray's highs have been way higher.
That's a
coming
great
come on
point,
now.
my dog.
Come on now.
Thank you.
It's twofold. I do think he could have been back. He could have played a whole lot better in these last couple of years with Arizona. But we've seen him play on a higher level than we even did Sam Darnold coming into that season. So Kevin O'Connell's an offensive genius in my mind. I think he's a guy that can get the most out of those quarterbacks. Moving on from J.J. McCarthy is the interesting thing now, just because, like you said, him playing under center, it's going to be a new challenge for Kyler. But this is a new setup, new scenery, all of it.
Kevin O'Connell is intelligent enough to adjust to the offense to some degree. Quarterback's most important player on the field. So if your quarterback can't play under center, I'm going to adjust my offense. Because here's what we know, bro. Kyler Murray is such a talent. If I can get this talent out of this dude, Kyler Murray has top 7 or 8 quarterback potential. So I'm not going to force Kyler Murray to play under center unless I have to. But if you're a great coach, to me, the best coaches get the most out of their players. The best coaches do not say, hey, player, you're going to do whatever I want you to do. Is, hey, you know what? I'm going to put you in a position to do best. So to me, Kevin O'Connell's intelligent enough to say, hey, Kyler, I'm going to have you in the gun. Because I have JJ, I have Jordan Addison, I'm going to have you in the gun. I'm intelligent enough to alter my offense given an entire offseason. Here's what I love. They got Kyler Murray on March 12th. Not on August 12th, on March 12th. O'Connell got a lot of time. We haven't even started install, Kieran. Ain't nobody been drafted yet. We haven't started OTAs. We haven't started minicamp. We haven't started a mandatory minicamp. We haven't started training camp. Kevin O'Connell has a ton of time to alter this offense and say, hey, Kyler, what do you do best? If I'm O'Connell, I'm looking at Kyler Murray's 11-5 season. When the Cardinals went to the playoffs. I'm looking at that season. I'm looking at what Kyler's done best. Kyler has 120 touchdowns in his NFL career, 60 interceptions. Hey, what do you do best? And I'm building my offense around the #1 overall pick formerly that is uber talented. What the hell y'all think they're doing with Sam Darnold in Seattle? Why do you think Sam Darnold is moving outside the pocket so much?
But when you look at it, Kevin O'Connell has had more success as a head coach than Kyler Murray has had as a quarterback.
Yes, way more.
And so are you going to alter and somewhat change what you do? Yes, you should. But to just revamp everything? No. That play action from under center is a big part of his offense. And Kyler Murray can do that. Can he do it enough on a consistent basis to where we can keep it? Because you can't. The play action from the gun is completely different when you're turning your back to the defense and the backers are coming downhill.
Right.
Now you get the middle of the field open on them over routes because they love to run over routes with jets. That's a staple of their offense is running them over routes. And it's easier, and you're going to get the underneath coverage to bite up when you're under center as opposed to when you're in the gun.
Facts. But here's what I would probably think now is do a little bit of both.
Yes.
Let's keep Kyler in the gun. Let's run about 15 to 20 plays from under center. Let's establish the run from under center. Let's establish the play action pass off of that. Let's run about 15 to 20 plays from the from under center. Let's run about 45 to 55 from the gun. You know what I mean? We running about 65, 70
They're going to
plays
have OTAs start next month. They're going to have a pretty good understanding by the end of OTAs what he does well and what he struggles with.
Yeah.
And that's a good part of what you're saying. This is not August. You're going to go through OTAs. You're going to go through mini camp. So when they get to training camp, they really going to have an idea of this is going to be the meat and potatoes of our offense.
And here's the most important thing I'll say in regards to Kyler. This is the first time Kyler Murray has been legitimately coached intentionally. In college, Lincoln Riley, hey, Kyler, you're an all-world talent. We're going to play you from the gun. That's what I do. That's what you do, bet. In the NFL, Cliff Kingsbury, we are hiring you for Kyler Murray. All you do is spread. Cliff Kingsbury from under Mike Leach's tree, that's all you really do, spread you out. Then by the time they get Jonathan Gannon and they get that new offensive coordinator, Kyler already does what he does. This is the first time that Kyler Murray will be intentionally and legitimately coached difficultly. So I think Kyler Murray is going to have to figure out how to be malleable, and I think he will. He ain't got no choice.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Kevin O'Connell and what they're going to do with that offense going into next season with the quarterback situation. He said today, I don't believe we have to name a starting quarterback currently. I mean, obviously it's March, OTAs haven't even started and whatnot. One, do you guys think this is going to be a competition for the quarterback job? And then also, who do you have more confidence in, Kyler or JJ moving forward?
Oh, it's for sure going to be a quarterback competition. When you draft a guy in the top 10, you draft him with the hopes that he's your quarterback of the future. When you bring in Kyler Murray, that's an indictment on, I'm uncertain if he's our quarterback of the future, talking about J.J. McCarthy. If Kyler Murray is any of what he was, he should win this competition.
Yeah.
Because his highs have been, his lows are J.J. McCarthy's highs to a certain degree. And so, but J.J. McCarthy's only started 10 games. And it's real, a guy like Kevin O'Connell, it's not like they've given up on J.J. McCarthy. But it's like, I just don't know. This move is, I don't know. Because they don't do this with quarterbacks. They normally don't do this. And when they make this type of move, they make this type of move because they're uncertain with what they have in J.J. McCarthy. And at this point, it's you're going to get it together or you're going to be a backup. Yeah. And so you got to have more confidence in Kyler Murray because he's had success in the National Football League on a consistent basis. J.J. McCarthy has yet to prove that he can do that.
Now, coming from the GM's position, Acho, do you think Kevin O'Connell's allowed to have Kyler Murray not go out there and play and put J.J. McCarthy out there and say he plays horribly? Like, again, I just think that's...
Kyler's the one. There's no competition.
Oh, wow.
Kyler's the one. There's no competition. J.J. hasn't earned the right to compete with Kyler Murray. What he did at Michigan, being the second or third best player on his own offense to Blake Corum, doesn't earn you the right 3 years later to be in competition with a quarterback going on year 8 that's made the Pro Bowl. J.J. hasn't earned the right. So it's not a competition. If Kyler gets hurt, bet we can compete. It's not a competition. JJ hasn't earned that right. Like, he hasn't. Based on what he did in college? No, It's been 2 years. You haven't earned that right. So I don't even think Kyler needs to look over any shoulders. Now, where I'll agree with TJ is OTAs, training camp, one's up. Kyler gonna get them ones. Twos, JJ. Threes, JJ. One's up. Kyler goes with the ones again. Hey, Kyler, come out. After 2 reps with the ones, JJ, get the last rep with the ones, then take all the reps with the twos. So JJ will get a snap or two. Please, TJ, if you think I'm overstepping, correct me if I'm wrong. JJ will get a snap or two every period with the one so he can have training with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. But really, here's what I do know. Kyler ain't taking no 2 reps. Let me say it like that.
Yeah.
JJ, what's the quarterback's name? JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy might get some 1 reps. Kyler ain't taking nobody's 2 reps. I'll tell you that right now. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please.
I don't know about that. I don't because I'll say this. Let me say this. If that first day, that first rep, JJ McCarthy's getting that first rep. He's getting that first rep. He's gonna get that first rep.
The first day of OTAs with the ones
when because it's gonna really be a walkthrough. The first once they get out there, I just feel like
there ain't no way, T.
I really believe it.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because the cream is going to rise. It don't matter.
Let me take you back. Bump the first day when you're actually taking snaps. Kieran, before we ever take snaps, before they ever get to OTAs, it's voluntary workouts. You want to know who's going to be there? Kyler Murray. You want to know who else is going to be there? Because he's rehabbing? J.J. McCarthy. I think Kevin O'Connell, hey, Kyler, break us down. I think strength coach, hey, Kyler, get it going. Whatever, Kyler's Murray, hey, get it going, one. Hey, get it going, one.
Call of Duty on one, Call of Duty on.
Like, they're going to start to get him going.
If they do that, then it's not a competition. And immediately, somebody's going to go to the media and let it be known that's what's going on. It's Kyler Murray's job. So we'll know that right away. Because if that happens, J.J. McCarthy going to tell his representation, I believe, is WME. Yeah. And he going to know.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get it publicly. This is not a quarterback competition. Kyler Murray is starter.
Do you make this move if you're confident that J.J. McCarthy can be your day one starter, though? No. I don't think you do.
They don't.
Well, my thing is,
they don't do this with quarterbacks.
Is Kevin O'Connell in the position where he can say, yo, day one, based off of what you showed me in training camp told me last year or whatever before that you were a better option than Sam Darnold. But whenever we actually got into games, that was not what it looked like. So for me, it's just like, is there anything that he can do to get that starting job going into the season? Because for me, as looking at it from a fan's perspective, you brought Kyler here on a 1-year deal to see if you're capable of winning with him, and it's a non-committal thing as of right now. If it doesn't work out with him, then you end up getting another quarterback. To me, I think J.J. McCarthy's time in Minnesota is pretty much done as a starting quarterback. It's year 3. I brought in another guy on a 1-year deal. It's a prove-it deal. If that doesn't work out, we're terrible that year. Guess what? We're drafting a quarterback next season.
When you say year 3, he started 10 games, bro.
I know.
10 games.
But
rookie year is lost. Mm-hmm. Last year was 10 games, and then he gets hurt again. So to me, Kyler Murray is more talented.
Yeah.
That's why Kyler Murray was the first pick. Kyler Murray, the legend in Texas that Acho knows, he was in that area, never losing a game in high school, all these state championships. The only player to be drafted top 10 in 2 professional league, hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to go do it. You got to go do it. Like Kyler Murray's a good player, but the Arizona Cardinals have been terrible with that good player for years. They've been terrible.
True.
Yeah.
They've been terrible.
It's true.
And so, although he's super talented, can he lead men? Are people willing to follow you? Because that's what needs to happen. If you can't do that, it don't matter how talented you are.
That's always going to be a huge question mark. I just think with the JJ thing, it's even with younger quarterbacks now. Like you look at what happened with Tennessee, Malik Willis, Will Levis. I don't need to see that many starts if you're going to be playing that bad. Like he was playing at a bad level.
You know what's interesting? And I'm doing this off the top of my head. I could be wrong in the chat. Y'all will call me out. Have we seen a young quarterback start, get benched for a vet, and then get a starting job back? Trey Lance, right? Got some starts.
Bryce Young.
Oh.
Very recently.
But what I mean is not benched for a vet, because Andy Dalton was already there.
Yeah.
I mean like
someone they
I'm
brought
bringing
in
you in a vet. Not benched for, because that's not getting benched for a vet. That's just you just got benched. I'm saying like I'm bringing in a vet.
Yeah.
And then again, I'm doing off the top of my head, so we may have. I'm just talking to my dogs. I'm curious, like, do we see this? Say it again, Ron.
Anthony Richardson. Yeah, Daniel Jones comes in, but he hasn't started again.
Yeah,
he's not
Anthony Richardson hasn't started
again.
Like, and that's kind of my point. Is like if you start and they bring in an outside vet, bruh, you ain't getting that job back, brother. You ain't getting that job back.
I don't think he's getting that job back. It's kind of my thing.
When you bring in Kyler Murray, you're bringing in Kyler Murray to be your quarterback.
Yeah.
You're bringing in Kyler Murray to be your starter.
Yep.
Now, is J.J. McCarthy going to step up to the plate?
That part.
And so it ain't like J.J. McCarthy. He wasn't Kyler Murray in high school, but he was highly ranked.
Yeah.
He was successful in college, even though he didn't throw the ball a lot. But the way they played at Michigan was we're going to run and play defense.
Yep.
And so I'm assuming he's not just going to lie down. I know he's not going to lie down. He told me not.
Yep.
He's ready to compete. But you're competing with, on paper, one of the better athletes that we've had.
Talk about it.
And so it's not about Kyler Murray's athletic ability. For me, it's more, can he be a leader and do what's expected of a quarterback?